knew I always wanted to be an actress. I did theater acting, did a degree in university in theater so that I could act, made it all the way, got a Bachelor of Fine Arts, acting specialization. I went all the way, committed. Then did television and film, realized didn't like television and film. Somebody hired me for voiceover for what's called looping, which is background voices for television and film. And from there, I was working with a guy named Michael Dobson, who was a very famous voice actor, and he looked at me and said, "Why aren't you doing cartoon voices?" And I went, "What do you mean doing cartoon? What does that mean?" Because in my imagination at that point, cartoon characters were real.
Right.
Nobody knew who the voice actors were. Like, I thought Papa Smurf was Papa Smurf. You turn and tell me that
exactly.
He-Man is not He-Man. What are you talking about? So he shattered my reality, broke my heart, and also I discovered an entire new area of work at the same breath. So next thing I knew, as I put together a voice demo, I auditioned for my very first show, which was for a brand new channel at the time called Cartoon Network. And it was for a show called Ed, Edd and Eddy, and I booked the role of May Kanker. And then the next year, Tabitha St. Germain, she stepped back from the role of Naz because she was too busy working as an actress, and I got Naz as well. So that's how I started.
Wow.
Noir, Blackheart from Hyperdimension Neptunia, Chie Satanaka, Emerin from Fire Emblem Awakening, I get a lot of that, Jana and Sona from League of Legends, and...
She's been in League of Legends.
If I'm gonna go top, it could be a fight between Parasol and Ural, maybe. Tough, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know.
That's tied then.
That's tough.
We'll just put them at the same level.
Yeah.
So what show, or I guess, what company did you enjoy the most that you work for? And if possible, if you have any tips for people who want to get into voice acting.
Okay. My favorite jobs have been cartoon jobs because they last the longest. So I like anything that lasts for a long time, and you get to be in the room with everybody. So Ed, Edd and Eddy, I love that. That was a family for 10 years. That was my family. It was a big deal. I worked on Rob Dyrdek, who is a famous skateboarder. He had a cartoon.
I know him,
So he had a cartoon called Wild Grinders for a few years, and I loved working on that because I got to be a real jerk. You're such a jerk, little slob, and I really loved being Stubford because he was smelly and a jerk, and I really liked him a lot. He was awesome. And and right now I'm working with Jib Jab on the Ask the Storybots series, and for me it's like the new Sesame Street, and that company, like, it feels like a family. Working with them, it feels like a huge family, and there's a lot of love, and I feel like maybe, because I remember when I was 18, Jim Henson died, and I went through a mourning, like, oh my, it hit me so hard, because I guess part of me always believed I was going to work with Jim Henson.
Right.
Like, I just knew as a child I was going to work with Jim Henson somehow, some way. This was my destiny, and when he died, it gutted me. It totally did me in. And now I feel like it's manifested because I feel like Jib Jab is my dream of working with Jim Henson. Like, what they're doing and how they're doing it is everything I've always ever wanted. So that right now is my favorite for sure.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. You know, actually, I may have to get some call you at some point in time for a cartoon I may want to work on.
I'm in. I love working on indie projects. I do that all the time. I'm approached a lot by new animators, and I donate my services for new animation as long as it's something that I can put my heart behind and it doesn't gross me out. I can't work on stuff that gross me out.
I won't do that.
Okay, as long as you don't gross me out, I'm in. I love helping new animators and new indie projects. I do it all the time. It's one of my passion projects.
That's
for
amazing.
Sure. Yeah, it's a big deal to me because, you just never know. You never know who's going to be, the next big thing, and it's really exciting to help somebody in their dream and help their dream come true because somebody did it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what advice could you give, I guess, for upcoming voice actors?
Well, it's such a new media. I'm a big advocate of make your own content. You don't have to do it the old-fashioned way. I do believe in training. You need to have, like, if you want to work in video games, you need to train your diaphragm and you need to have, like, singing chops because you've got to be able to hold. It's throat ripping. We call it throat ripping work for a reason. We're noticing the damage that gets done over time now. So you want to be trained vocally for that kind of work. But now that we've got all this new media and everything is streaming, I'm a big advocate of make your own work, create your own stuff. Actors team up with new animators, animators team up with amateur actors. Make stuff, put it out there, because there's no better way of learning than to find out, okay, yeah, that sucked, let's do it again. Okay, let's try it. You know, like,
oh, we've been there.
I would much rather find out I sucked on something that I made myself than be hired and have people go, oh, she sucked, we're never hiring again. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
better to get your chops up and to learn the normal old school way. And if you can't, you know, I was really blessed. I went to a university that studied training and acting training, and I got to make all of my mistakes and be completely ridiculous and do things that I would never get cast in real life. I got to do it there. And if people don't get that opportunity these days, then you got to do it yourself. You've got to make it yourself. You've got to create the opportunity, the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of practice. Whatever it is, and it doesn't even have to be voice acting or animation, it can be anything you want to do in life. Just put in the hours, because the more hours you put in, the more you're going to learn from it, the more you're going to, if you team up with people that you love and who love what they're doing, it won't feel like work. It's going to feel like play, and you're going to be like, holy crap, we got to play forever. And I remember getting to play for hours with people who loved what we were doing, and we created we created crap. There was so much crap that we put out, and we didn't care, and everyone's doing really well now.
Yeah.
So it like goes to show you, like, you got to go through the hours of creating crap and not judging yourself.
Yeah,
Like, at the time, we may have known it was crap, but we weren't going to judge ourselves because we knew we were learning. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Like, we're like, well, we don't know if this is going to work or not, but we got to try it. If we don't try it, how are we going to know? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just try, just do. I'm a big advocate of don't sit on the fence and wait for life to happen. Go out there, make the mistakes, because that's how you learn.
I am the exact same way.
Yeah! Woo! You gotta eat more meat!
Exactly. So I guess I don't really have any questions that I
It
can
was fun to
ask.
hang out with you, thanks.
It was a lot of fun. I do have one thing. I guess you don't have to answer or speak on if you don't want to.
Okay.
But there was something in the media about voice actors being on strike.
We are on
and-
strike against 11 video game companies currently.
Okay, can you speak on that?
I absolutely can. I'd be happy to. There are 11 video game companies that we work with a particular contract that has expired. It's a 20-year-old contract. And we spent 19 months sitting with them at a table trying to negotiate, which they sat across from the actors saying, we don't want to negotiate on any point. Now, negotiation is, we present some ideas, you present some ideas, we say no to some, you say no to some, we find a middle ground. That's a negotiation.
Right.
We presented ideas and they just went no. And they presented nothing in return. So the last meeting, the lawyer looked at Tara Strong, some of you may know Tara Strong, and told her that nobody cares about the voice actors. And that was kind of like the last, we were like, okay, let's find out. So now we're in the experiment of, we're not working for those 11 companies. There are a lot of video game companies we are still able to work for, like
Right.
Blizzard, who are doing a fantastic job working with us as actors and giving us safe and great working conditions, which we need. And so until these 11 companies decide they want to work with us again, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll go off and just hire non-professionals, and their AAA titles will have non-professionals, and they can do whatever they want to do with that. But we truly believe that what we do is an art form, and it's a skill,
it is.
and not everybody can do it. I mean, I don't know very many people who can go in and read a script totally cold, give high-level performance of that 1, 2, 3 thousands of lines in one take.
Wow, in one take?
In one take.
Oh, jeez.
That's how we save them money.
Right.
So I'm excited for the experiment of them to learn how much money it's going to cost to get the performances they want without hiring the actors who have the chops for it. Good luck with that. Let us find out. It is our own experiment. So I'm okay with the strike. I don't mind. And I also work in cartoons, and we all work in other areas. So these 11 companies, we don't depend on them for our rent. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, some people might have before, but they know that they can shift and put their focus elsewhere for right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's great.
so solidarity. If you want to support us in the strike, it's #PerformanceMatters, and we'll be striking different game companies every week. Just picketing outside, just getting the word out, and it may take a long time. They may want to make a few games and see what they can do without us, and I'm actually interested in learning. I mean, we'll really know our value at the end of this experiment. Hello guys, this is Erin Fitzgerald, and thank you for watching,
Nerd Torch TV.
Nerd Torch TV.
Ah!